Welcome. This is Majesty's Sussex Report, and I'm Antonio. Thank you for spending some of your valuable time here with us today. Hope you're having a fantastic weekend. I wanted to start out actually with a ceremonial blanket that was given to Prince Harry and that ceremony. And just to give a little bit of a background, the Squamish and Lillooet nations use the blankets, and they're integral to ceremonial celebrations, such as the weddings. They do them also as part of naming, coming of age, puberty, funerals. In this case, with Prince Harry, if a person is blanketed individually and over their shoulder, so both shoulders, then they are being honored. If a blanket that is folded and cover half the wearer body over left shoulder and on the right arm, covering the heart to keep positive and negative out, that indicates that the wearer has been hired to work on behalf of the family hosting that ceremony. So, in this case, with Prince Harry, the blanket was given in honor. Now, he then not returned, but gave the gift of his on behalf of him and the Duchess of Sussex, Meghan. And it's the H. Remember that monograph thing that they had? The H and sort of the M together, and then a crown at the very top, and it's a medallion. It's a gold medallion that is just absolutely beautiful. I hope you can capture it or see it there in the demonstration. Now, the audio is not very good, and I don't. You do hear the audio when they do the drumming, but then for the rest of the ceremony, you don't hear a lot of the audio. And that's either, I mean, the two reasons that I can come up with is either that they don't allow the audio for that part of the ceremony, or that no one was mic'd. I sort of went on a search trying to see if there's any sort of literature on sort of not having that part mic'd, but I didn't find anything. So it could be either things. Okay, but what an honor! What an honor, and what a wonderful thing that the four nations have embraced the Invictus Games, embraced a member, well, two members actually, of the royal family, and welcomed them onto their lands. And they, in return, showed the utmost respect. Just absolutely fantastic.
So I've been asked to share a few words while the ladies here uh, wrap our honorable guest here with a blanket. And so this is a connection to our past and a part of our culture. Just having an open heart and open mind and being able to come into each of the communities.
Through all the injuries that he received, he was pronounced dead 3 times. He had two strokes, completely paralyzed, traumatic brain injury, a cardio arrest for 11 minutes to return him back to life. At the 40 days, they asked me to disconnect him because he's brain dead, and I said no. And we endorsed this remarkable miracle journey. My name is Claudia Avila. I'm the wife and caregiver of Captain Luis Avila. He is an inspiration for me because he has not allowed his disability to define him. Some of the challenges that my husband has, he has hearing issues, he's visually impaired, he's almost completely paralyzed. It's already a challenge for us, but we don't see the challenge. We only see the beauty of the things we are going to accomplish that day, and we take it.
How did it feel doing that race?
Awesome. Freedom is magical. It's priceless. Unforgettable. It gives me goosebumps. Seeing all of them inspire all of us. If they can do everything they do, why not we're not there doing it? We wanted to show the point that people, even under the circumstances, the ability to perform is remarkable. And if we provide the equipment that they need, they can be independent. And they continue, keep pushing it to get more goals, to keep working, to be more independent in the freedom, the joy and the smiles here of everybody say it all. Movement is therapy. Therapy is independence. Independence is freedom. Just to recover and conquer, to try to do that every day is what it really make it to be any day a great day. Like he always remind me, any day above ground is a great day.
Under here.
faces of those who refused to be defined by what was taken from them, but instead by what they refused to surrender. Warriors who remind us all that the human spirit is unbreakable. In Vancouver and Whistler, we have witnessed something extraordinary. Not just the power of sport, but the power of resilience. Men and women who were told they could never walk again, now skiing down mountain. Athletes with with limbs lost to war, now competing on ice on slopes in ways that defy the very limits of what we thought possible. Every glide, every turn, every finish line is a declaration that I am still here. I'm still strong. The Invictus Games are not just about sport, they're about what it means to fight, not just in battle, but in the battle to reclaim one's life, to redefine purpose, to rise above all, to pick oneself up after you've fallen. These warriors have already given so much in service to their nations, and yet they continue to give, to inspire, to challenge, to prove that no wound, no loss, no darkness can extinguish the fire of the human will. Oh, incredible.
Retired aviation bosun mate, second class in the U.S. Navy, served for 8 years.
I love this. This saves lives. The Invictus Games, anything that helps veterans with adaptive sports, it saves lives. Gives a sense of purpose, a sense of belonging to a lot of these athletes. To even the family members, it helps them.
My son, he had a kidney transplant. My other son gave a kidney to my other son. And then they have really hard times. And the Invictus game is help a lot.
My mother has been my biggest support. She's always been everywhere where I go in regards to through my diagnosis, my lowest points. She's been my rock. Everything that I've learned from her is the man that I've become today.
I'm really proud, Mom. I'm 65. Sometimes I was really tired, but in these days, I'm not tired.
The Invictus Games is an amazing experience. It is something that everybody should look and see this resilience. This is an amazing community, and the heart of Invictus, this is what it's about.
Long Gaddafi Ya'u by name. I'm representing Nigeria. This is my first time of skiing.
I saw one of our competitors, Gaddafi, fall off the ground, get up, fall off the ground a couple of times, but he never gave up. So it's the never giving up attitude is here. And it's all part of the healing journey, because 12 months ago, Gaddafi is looking at himself thinking, wow, 12 months ago, I was lying in bed.
What I was thinking when I was on the ground, I was thinking that I must do it. We are all military personnel, and any military personnel that can never give up. So I can never give up. I think I will be the best of this race. When I crossed the finishing line, I was so joyed to make it. I have the courage.
It affects him mentally, emotionally, because after here, he can go back to Nigeria and feel like there's nothing absolutely wrong with him. He can afford to apply for a job, he can afford to drive, he can do so many things. And these are the kind of things that mentally the people with disability in our part of the world do not see.
We are one, we love each other, and it will continue to be.
Huge congratulations to Egube Festus and his Nigerian teammates. He takes the bronze in the men's 50-meter breaststroke ISC final. What a moment for him and for Nigeria, a team that has brought such spirit to this event.
Once in my life, I had to decide what to do best, and I decided to spend my time on sporting events and being volunteer. I'm enrolled for Birmingham already, and that's not so far from Germany, so I might do my fourth. And there are a couple of fellow volunteers who have been doing all Invictus editions as from London 2014. The very special thing about Invictus is really that the competitors, they are living their journey of getting back into life. Most of them have gone through hell in whatever sense that may be. A sport as a means to get back into real life with the help of their family and friends is something you would not find in any other competition, and you feel that in every competitor.
Welcome back to Invictus Games, the Daily Show. I'm JJ Chalmers.
And I'm Prince Harry,
founder of the Invictus Games and my co-presenter for the next few minutes.
You're my co-presenter, aren't you?
Oh, we're on
the same team.
It's equal billing. Right, let's be clear about that.
I'll take that.
How good have these games been?
The games have been epic. They've been amazing, and also to have them in two different locations. It's not easy logistically.
So let's cast our mind back a wee bit then. Like when the idea of two cities was sort of first floated, the idea of a winter games, like to see that realised, it's taken a lot of work.
Well, as I had many conversations yesterday up in Whistler, 3 years planning and preparation for 3 days.
Wow.
Specifically for Whistler.
Wow.
And every single day of every single year has been well spent. Yeah. As far as they're concerned. That's, Whistler Blackcomb, all of that team, the volunteers, everybody, anyone who's been part of this for a long period of time for those 3 years feels as though we absolutely smashed it. And I think the collective sense of relief about the weather gods giving us 3 beautiful days of sunshine, when normally at this time of year, February, it's either windy, it's cloudy, misty, or snowy, and we got perfect.
The sun shines down on the righteous, I guess.
This is very true, JJ.
But there's a collective sense of relief as well that everyone got down the sliding on the skeleton safely.
Yes, measured risk.
Measured risk.
Everybody, the skeleton, the snowboarding, the skiing, every part of it was done safely. Mm-hmm. Everyone threw what they had into it, and what an environment to be in. This is the thing. We always knew it was going to be amazing, but to see the competitors throw themselves into it, and also the families, the spouses, and the children having so much fun on the slopes was incredible. And for everybody else, even if you weren't competing or you weren't throwing yourself down the slopes,
we took over Whistler.
We took over Whistler, and Whistler Village welcomed us with open arms, and I'm just so happy to see so many people with big smiles on their faces.
I think it's safe to say that adding some winter events to Invictus has been a triumph. Mm-hmm. It's totally worked. Do you think it's something we would do again in the future?
Yes, it's certainly not a one-off. Yeah. It all depends on which nations are out there who want and can host a Winter Games.
Yeah,
that to me is obviously to all of us. That's the key. I couldn't think of it being in a better place than Vancouver and Whistler for our first Winter Games. So now the bar has been set. And whoever's out there, whoever wants to, take on the next challenge of trying to beat the Winter Games, then we're all for it.
That is a kind of important call to arms, because obviously Invictus Games Foundation, Invictus Games, 10 years old now. It does feel like, well, first of all, 10 years old. I mean, how surprised are you that we're still here 10 years later?
I'm surprised you're still here 10 years later, to be honest, for numerous different reasons. But, we've come a long way since that egg and spoon race in 2014.
Yeah.
And this is amazing. You've still got this career in television, 10 years beyond.
Well, I have to survive the next 5 minutes. So
you're doing it right so far.
But 10 years later, I suppose the unfortunate thing is there's still a need for these games.
Yeah. And by the looks of it, there's always going to be a need. Naive, I think, was to assume or hope that the games wouldn't be needed for anything longer than maybe those 3 years to help everybody off the back of the Iraq and Afghanistan conflicts. But I think now that we've grown to 23 nations, inevitably, even if you just have 5% of those competing nations in some form of a conflict, then you're going to keep needing you're going to keep needing the games. I think that one of the hardest things is the worry about what happens after the games.
Okay.
And we've always talked about the drop off, this amazing atmosphere that we create, this experience, these memories made for a lifetime. It's a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
And I guess I'm comforted to know that so many of the nations have implemented this post games program.
Yeah.
These moments of coming back together again to be able to talk about the games, talk about where you are now, and continue that community and that support network.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these partners are genuinely concerned. It's like, right, this is an amazing high, but then does everything go back to what it was before? And the answer, I can't promise that it won't. You can't promise it won't, and nor can the individuals themselves. But we hope that from these last 10 days, that some of the experiences and some of the new support that they've perhaps gained, and the new stories and experiences that they've now been part of, they'll be able to hold on to that, so that when things do get hard, which inevitably they will, they can remember back to these moments.
But equally, it's not just about surviving the hard times that are ahead. It's actually about creating good times ahead as well. Taking the transformative power of sport and then learning that you can apply your values, your principles, yourself to something new.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and also continuing that passion for sport.
Yeah.
Right, because so many of these individuals came forward, going, "Yeah, I want to do Winter Games. What sport, what discipline should I take up?" And not everybody's been able to practice on snow.
Yeah.
So just because there isn't snow back at home doesn't mean that you can't carry on doing a lot of these sports. So when it comes to adaptive sports, what we've managed to achieve in Whistler has been exceptional, and everybody said this is now a legacy. This is now something that is going to continue. So we have to just collectively, between us all, encourage everyone as part of this Invictus community to carry on being focused on healing, and whether that's sport or something else, but also maintaining that contact and that connectivity with everybody that they have a shared experience.
Well, hello. I think my studio, my digital studio, is a little bit better than Prince Harry's. What do you folks think? A little bit? Maybe. There was another design, but I decided to go with something more, cottagey, having a bit of a cottage in the winter, up in the Whistler Mountains or something like that. Anyways, that was a great conversation. There are moments in history when someone doesn't just create something, they change the way we see ourselves, the way we see each other, the way we understand what is possible. And hearing Prince Harry speak about the Invictus Games, about what this movement has become, and can only I can only say one thing. This this is one of those moments. You know, think about this. A man who has seen war firsthand, who has served alongside those who have sacrificed, who has held the hands of the wounded, the grieving, the broken, and instead of turning away, instead of letting the weight of it crush him, he he asked a different question. How do we lift them up? How do we remind them, and all of us, that being injured is not the end of their story, that there is more, that there is purpose, that there is still victory to be found? That is what Invictus Games represents. That is what Prince Harry built. Watching the impossible unfold in real time. Athletes, warriors, heroes, racing down mountains, conquering the impossible, possibly that they thought they could do. Proving that no injury, no wound, no battle, external or internal, gets to define them. That is what Invictus signifies in so many ways. Unconquered. And Prince Harry, through sheer determination, vision, and heart, has made it possible for these service members to reclaim their strength, their purpose, their joy. I don't think we talk enough about what it takes to do what Prince Harry has done. He didn't just have an idea. He fought for this. He fought against doubt, against cynicism, against those who thought it wouldn't be done. And yet, here we are. The games are bigger than ever. The impact is greater than ever. The lives changed. Immeasurable. That is what happens when you don't just believe in something, but you fight for it. Just amazing and incredible. Amazing. Okay, so now we're going to take a bit of a turn, and we're going to go into social media. What I'm looking at, what I looked at, what's happening. Okay, let's do this.
New scandals unfolding as we have some royal breaking news. Meghan Markle, a married woman, has dared to tell the internet that she loves her husband. And as you can imagine, Britain was furious. The rest of the world just gets on with Valentine's Day and doesn't make a big song and dance about it. Meghan has taken time out of her busy schedule to dare to put a picture of her and her husband up on her own Instagram. Underneath the picture, she's dared to talk about how proud she is of her husband with the Invictus Games, and she comments how she'll eat burgers and fries and fish and chips with him forever. She thanks him for being him. Hashtag love wins. Rose has piped up to say there's a PR stunt for every occasion, if you're Meghan. Jonathan was that angry, he couldn't even spell the word leeches. He'd had enough of them. FaZe then jumped in with some nutritional advice. It's too unhealthy for you, Meghan. That's why you look so scrawny. Meghan lost weight to look like our Princess Catherine, who's always been naturally thin. Lynn can't control herself. She just wants to puke. Once Lynn's finished, Sue needs the bucket as well, because she's going to be sick. Royal correspondent Bianca's piped up, claiming that William and Catherine's pictures in the papers must have triggered Meghan to wish her husband a happy Valentine's Day, because Princess Catherine and Prince William must have some sort of patent or copyright over Valentine's Day photos. Like, nice try, Meggers, but yet again you failed. No ideas of her own. Yeah, Bianca, have you got a Valentine? And if King Charles thought he was getting away with it, oh no, Mark W's got you straight on his list, mate, because you've got your nose in the Go Green trough, making billions renting our seabed for offshore wind projects. Despicable thing. How dare you try and save the planet for future generations, King Charles III. You're a disgrace. You're not his king. You've been affected by Meghan's Valentine's Day post, then go to our website for support and advice. It's www.getafuckinggrip.co.uk.
I'm Leah Valencia Key, creator of Valencia Key Jewelry. Valencia means bravery and courage. And Key is that light inside of you to unlock all of your greatness with abundant gratitude to the loving Duchess of Sussex, Meghan, for shining your light wearing the Valencia Key Joy Bracelet. It means the world to me as a small business owner. It's just me trying to create love and light in the world. So my prayers are answered. Thank you. E. Holmes created this beautiful Instagram post sharing that the Duchess of Sussex, Meghan, is in her joy era, wearing the Valencia Key bracelet. Style curators, Royal Family 33, Sussex Daily, Royal British Fashion, Duke and Duchess of Sussex Daily, Meghan, Maven, many more. Thank you for just showing Valencia Key jewelry bracelet in your content. I am from poverty and homelessness. My mission is no matter where you are, shine your light.
Hey guys, it's been an exciting week and we're all watching with Invictus going on. And then we just had yesterday Kate come out for a visit to a woman's prison in Cheshire to visit a mother and baby unit for her Patreon Actions for Children. Now, there's really interesting components to this visit. I've been just jotting down the different topics that I can talk about with this, which I will for this week's episode of Lady Audacity. But I wanted to talk about something particular that I saw today that I thought was really interesting when it comes to why we got this visit. And I know the first thing you're thinking is, oh, this happened because of Invictus. And I'm not saying that isn't true. I definitely think Meghan and Harry are always on their minds. And I think when something like Invictus is happening and they're getting global headlines, positive headlines, they want to remind you, hey, we're here too. We're doing good things. We're exciting. But I think there's something more, though, that was on their mind, because it was actually brought to my attention by a follower that a lot is going on this last week when it comes to news about the prison system in the UK, specifically about UK women's prisons. Now, she sent me yesterday, I can't lie, this annoys me. There was a report out about the shocking conditions in women's prisons in the UK, including the fact they couldn't wash their underwear or access proper period care, and self-harm rates were through the roof, and Kate's going to visit them to tell them consistent mother and baby relationships are important. And this is all true. And one of the things they also found in this report is that women can't have access to their children, as in a lot of times if they don't have these mother to baby units or they have children that are, say, like 5 and above, they can't contact them because they're right now it's maybe once a month they're getting phone calls to their children. There's no programs where, say, I can call my baby at night to read them a story. It's really hard for them to get visitation rights to their children, which of course I would think go to early years or at least childcare. So I was looking more into this today about what was going on there and thinking, also these visits take a long time to produce. They usually say it takes a few weeks for this to all happen. But hey, there's nothing to say that the government didn't know that these surveys were going to be released for a while. And they said, hey, Kate, I want you to go out and do a visit about UK women's prisons so we can put a shadow over the bad things coming out and spotlighting the good about them, like, say, a mother and baby unit from Actions for Children that is supplying a lot of really core and necessary classes for free for mothers and their babies in those first 5 years of life. But then I saw that this came out, and this came out a couple hours ago, a day after her visit. The Ministry of Justice has apologized to a Black woman who suffered racist abuse in a prison's mother and baby unit where her son was referred to as a monkey. The incident in which the baby was taken from his mother happened at HMP Newhall near Wakefield in July 2018. Investigation and years of litigation followed before the case was finally settled. The woman has now received a 5-figure compensation payout and a detailed 3-page apology letter from the Ministry of Justice. She also received an apology from Action for Children, a charity that lists the Princess of Wales as its royal patron, which was running the mother and baby unit at the prison. I'm just saying, do we really think it's a coincidence that Kate went to another prison where the same mother and baby unit exists that is ran by Action for Children the day before they have to publicly apologize for racism that was happening at a separate unit that they run? And again, I know that it takes time for these visits to happen. It's not just something that happens in 24 hours, but this litigation has been going on for years. It's likely when they came to the end of this process, it would likely take months to flesh out, or at least weeks to flesh out what was going to happen in terms of an apology and what was going to happen financially, which would give them plenty of time to say, the government, and not just the Patreon, but the government, to say, hey, this is going to come out. We want to put a positive spotlight on this Patreon, a positive spotlight on this unit, the mother and baby unit, and what we're doing with prisons to overshadow the negativity that can also happen there. And obviously, I'm not saying this is Kate's fault. She's not running these units personally. She's just the Patreon. But I do think it's interesting to point out, though, how a royal can be used, though, to overshadow the bad things, to then direct the light to something positive, to something the government or the Patreon that they're in charge of wants to see. Or I should not say in charge of, but the Patreon that they're the face of wants the people to see. And I will be talking a lot more about this visit, from how Kate and her comms team decision overshadowed it with, once again, her fashion choices and that conversation, and the conversations that she was having with the woman of this unit, which I think highlight what is needed in the early years and what she refuses to do with her own project in the early years. Join me on Lady Audacity. I make sure to link it in the bio. Have a good day, guys.
Another day, another Meghan Markle bashing. And this time, it's wild. So, let me give you a bit of a backstory. Meghan and Harry, very early days of the Invictus Games currently happening in Canada, they met with different teams. On this day, they met with a Canadian team. And they had a chat, they had an amazing time, and it was photo time. So, Meghan then helped to adjust a wheelchair for the group photo. The actual wheelchair user, Adria, said that Meghan was respectful and kind and had her permission to move her wheelchair in line with the other wheelchair users that were all lined up in front of the group for a group photo. The CEO of the Canadian team also confirmed that they were arranging 56 people for a photo with Meghan and Harry. But somehow the British press decided, or was it the British press? I don't know. Anyway, some press decided to turn it into a controversy. So this was what Adria actually said, and I'm going to read it out. She said, Meghan was not only respectful, but incredibly kind. I'm disappointed that this compassionate act has been misrepresented. So, how did this all come about? Somebody saw the video of Meghan moving the chair backwards in line with the other athletes on wheelchairs, and a reporter, a visually impaired reporter, she got told that Meghan moved the wheelchair without the competitor's permission. So this visually impaired reporter did not see it herself. But she then took it upon herself anyway to talk about it. But she said something like, oh, but sometimes a photo doesn't tell the whole story. A particular paper, I'm not even going to dignify them with a mention, they then got hold of the story. All the trolls were unleashed, and all of them have blue ticks. By the way, a lot of people bashing Meghan have blue ticks because they monetize their hate. So a lot of the trolls were unleashed, and Meghan became a bad person. Oh my God, she didn't ask permission. If it was me, I would sue her for assault. I mean, the ridiculous things people come up with just because it's Meghan. And despite the explanation coming and blah, 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 it's a massive storm in the teacup, as usual. This is what I call stochastic terrorism. It's taking an innocent moment, twisting it into controversy, encouraging hate, generating clicks, monetizing, rinse and repeat. When the actual person involved defends Meghan to the media, but they keep ignoring that, or they report it at the very end of a negative column, it's just disgusting. So that's why at the very beginning, before the Invictus Games, in one of my videos, I said, let's focus. Let's focus on the games. Let's focus on the veterans, because unfortunately, incidents like this that they've blown up because they couldn't find anything negative to say about her that hasn't already been said. So because they couldn't find anything negative to say about her, they're now taking innocent moments, nice moments, and they're twisting and they are frankly, for lack of a better word, trying to crap on such a beautiful thing, such as the Invictus Games. The one thing I'm very thankful for is that you bashing her doesn't mean that your favorites are doing well. In fact, your favorites are failing daily. They're failing to connect with the people. They're failing to give back to the people. They're even failing to do their jobs. How many times have we seen them this year? You go check the court circular and you let me know. But anyway, Megan, I know you're back home with Archie and Lilibet. We love you and we support you. And Invictus Games is going to end pretty soon. And all the best to all the athletes, and well done to all those who have done, who have taken part, and even those who have won medals. Well done.
Okay, so I decided to show you folks what the other digital set looked like. What do you think? Which one do you prefer? This sort of techie, slick looking one, or the one before, more cottagey? Just tell me. Okay, so that last clip, I was actually planning to show you also the person who is impaired who was talking about X, Y, or Z. But I've decided not to. I think having sort of the response is enough. And the reason why I have that response too is just in case you folks end up seeing or anyone says anything about, oh, well, I saw this on social media that Megan did this and Megan did that. I want you to be armed. I want you to be have the response ready if anyone were to, you know, say anything. Now, I'll say this, and maybe I'm thinking this through because I don't want to get myself into any weird trouble. But I've gone through many sort of training as a as an educator. I've had to go through many different types of sensitivity training and so on, which I absolutely loved. I've had to go through for my work, for other things also, and other work environments, um, disability training, people with different abilities, and so on. As a matter of fact, I've even, facilitated some of those trainings. What I find here interesting is the assumption that is being made, right? And for anyone, whether a person is able or a person has different abilities or disabled or anything to that sort, to comment on a situation that someone else is relating to you without you having the complete texture of it. You know what I mean? Because a person can easily say to me, well, this is what's happening. And I'll be honest, I would be sort of like, oh, well, that seems awful. But then before jumping to conclusion, because it's the same way how we have been trained, don't assume that a person in a wheelchair needs your help. Don't assume because a person is visually impaired that you need to grab them and help them cross the street, right? Words matter. You can ask. There's nothing bad about asking. Do you need some help crossing the street? No, thank you. I'm quite okay. No problem. Right? We ask. I find it very sad on behalf of the person who did that whole video, in some sense chastising Megan. But I feel sad for the person who encourage the person who did the video or give the information of the person who did the video, I feel sad for them. Really, really sad for them, because this is where they have stooped to. They've gotten so low, so low that they're using a person who's visually impaired, telling them one account of a story or of a situation, which wasn't a situation at all, just to what? It is just, it is just weird. It's like the person that, that person with the nose or the whatever crap, the so that person posted a video of Prince Harry sort of doing a Prince Harry thing. He does a little dance and stuff. And this person went along to say, I guess when your B wife, something to this regard, when your B wife leaves, then you can be happy. I I know people get all like whatever about these people, but I feel genuinely sad. Sad for them. This is their life. They have chosen this as how they will operate in the world. It's like MAGA people who all this stuff is happening. Their resources being cut off. Some of them are being shocked that they actually were hired under DEI because, no, I wasn't. I'm white. I'm a white woman. Well, honey, guess what? 60% of you were hired on the DEI. Um, you have all these other people go, well. I never said I cared about the price of eggs. Oh, you didn't? I thought you did, because eggs were what, $6? Now they're what, 12, $18? Okay. Okay. You have JD Vance going in front of security, military people in Europe, making a fool of himself, questioning democracies in telling them that they should like cozy up to the ridiculousness of it all. These people make me so sad because they have no joy in their life, no real joy. And that is sad, really sad. So, God bless them. God bless them. Now, the thing with Kate. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. I'm not saying a word. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Let it be. Let it be. Oh, Lord, let it be. Let it be. Yeah, that's it. That's all I've got to say. That's all I've got to say about that. And that is your social media roundup. I'm not saying there isn't more, there's more, but this is the roundup for now.
I believe in love, not just the kind that sparkles in Valentine candlelight, but the kind that glows steadily through life's darkest hours. I believe that romance isn't found in grand gestures alone, but in the gentle whisper of understanding, in sharing the last piece of chocolate, in holding hands when words aren't enough. I believe that Valentine's Day isn't about perfect roses or precious jewels, but about the courage to open your heart, even when it's been broken. I believe that true love is like a perfectly tailored dress. It should make you feel beautiful, but never uncomfortable being exactly who you are. And most of all, darling, I believe that love isn't just for one day in February. It's for every smile shared, every tear wiped away, every moment when kindness trumps fear. After all, isn't that what makes any day valid?
And with that, my lovelies, my beautiful, my wonderful, my everything, I bid you adieu until we speak again. Love you all. Take care of yourselves. Be kind. Mwah.
Come with me and my beautiful wife, Luisana Lopilato, as we go and celebrate the Invictus Games. I'm so proud of my country, so proud of my city, so proud of my province. Let's go. We're going to West, look, the pesky resort ever. And I'm feeling good. Gentleman, Michael Bublé. You know, I wasn't brought here to sing. Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. And I can't tell you how proud I am by how you represent us. We're surrounded by athletes who are real superheroes. Real superheroes. Please welcome the Duke of Sussex and the founder of the Invictus Games Foundation, my friend, Prince Harry.
Well, thank God Michael Bublé sang. Can you imagine bringing Michael Bublé out and saying, you know what, I didn't come to sing. We're like, well, why are you here? She's going to sing.
And I am